ممكن scroll down. Mamnun. Can you scroll down? Ma'am, 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 can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Ma'am, done. Yes, ma'am, done.
All right. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to start a new chapter now, that is morphology of flowering. Now, flowering plants, and by the term flowering plants, I mean angiosperms, of course. And by the term morphology, we mean the external appearance or the external feature. Anything that is the exterior of the plant, particularly the flowering plants, we're going to see that. Now, why only the flowering plants? Because angiosperms, they are the most studied and they are the most developed plants, right? We have studied this in plant field. Now, why do we study morphology? Obviously, to find out what family does a particular plant belongs to, what are the characteristics of the plants, right? Also, to know the technical terms, to know the definitions, also to know about the possible variations with respect to adaptations, like how does a plant adapts itself to different scenarios, to different conditions and everything. So that is what we're going to study in this particular chapter. Now, if we look at a plant, so we know that this is a basic structure. We always draw it like that. Now, the part that is below the level of the soil, meaning that is under the soil, we call it as the root system of the plant. And the part that is above the level of the soil, we call it as the shoot or the stem system of the plant. The leaf, the flowers, the reproductive structures, everything, single thing comes along in the shoot or the stem system, whereas the conducting part, which is the root, comes under the soil. So to begin with, we're going to start with the root. And I have taught plant kingdom to you, right?
Yeah.
So while I was teaching you angiosperms, I might have told you that the angiosperm has been further divided into monocots and
And I,
dicots,
yeah.
depending upon
Um, depending upon like the seeds which they are in.
the seeds and the cotyledons.
Yeah,
How
the
many
cotton.
cotyledons are there? For example, if one cotyledon is there, you can't split the seed, then that is monocot. And if you can split the seed into two, then that is a dicot, meaning two cotyledons are there. So in this particular chapter, we're going to see every single classification, not classification, the external study, meaning the morphology according to monocot, dicot, both. Now, the first example is of a monocot seed, wherein we take the example of rice. You can't split it into two. But if you if you take the example of a moong dal, this one, moong, right? So you can actually split it into two. Why? Because it is a dye. You can actually split it like that. Now, talking about the different kinds of roots and how the root structure and everything is there. Now, see, while we were talking about the seed, I'll tell you one thing, that the seed has two components to it, plumule and radicle. Now, plumule is the part of the seed that after developing, it will give rise to the shoot. And radicle is the part of the seed that after developing, it will give rise to the root. Now, how to remember this? Remember that R for radical, R for root, right? So, the formation of root takes place from the radicle. Now, the radical gave rise to the roots. Okay, now see. what happens is that when the radical elongates, it forms the roots. Okay. So, for example, if this radical is coming out, and what will it do? For example, this is the level of the soil, and here the first formed root,
Mm.
will be called as the primary root. And then
Okay.
from the primary root develops the lateral roots. What do I mean by lateral?
Like
In terms of
um
position. What is lateral position?
side, like side by
Yes,
side.
sideways. Correct. So when we talk about this particular lateral root, so from the primary roots arises the lateral roots like that. And then from each one of them, another arises. So the first root that is formed is the primary roots, and the lateral roots are like they arise from the primary root, and then depending upon when they arise, for example, the first root that is arising from the primary root, we'll call it as the secondary root. And then from the secondary root, the roots that arise, we call it as the tertiary roots. So that is how the roots happens.
Oh,
Now the primary roots, along with all of these branches, meaning secondary, tertiary, right? We call it as the tap root system. The roots that develop from the direct elongation of radical, we call it as the tap root system. This
elongation of
one, radical.
radical.
Hmm.
The others won't have elongation of radical.
There are like certain variations to it. Okay, different characteristics are there. Now, this taproot system is a characteristic feature of dicots. All the dicots have taproot system. One such example is mustard plants. Okay, taproot system is present in most of the dicot plants. But when we talk about the monocots, so in their case, the primary roots are short-lived, meaning they will develop by the elongation of radical, but they will not live for a while or they'll not be persistent. They are for a short period of time. And then at that point, from where the primary root was arising, at that point of time, a large number of roots arises, sort of like a bunch from one point only. And these roots originate from the base of the stem. See, now it's not originating from the radical. Rather, it is originating from the base of the stem. So this is
Okay.
known as fibrous root. It sort of looks
Ma'am,
like this.
for fibrous roots, so the first stem will grow and then the roots will grow from the
No,
stem.
no. Like the point from where the stem will grow, not the plumule, but the arising point. See, initially you can say it is coming from the radical only, but since the primary roots, they are short-lived, so they come from the base of the stem. But initial is from radical.
Okay. Okay. So first they start from radical, but then it comes to the like it attaches to the stem, like because they're
Base.
connected and then it comes out.
Hmm.
Okay.
And that is what we call as the fibrous roots, meaning from one point, a lot of a bundle of roots are arising. Okay, fiber like.
Ma'am,
This
so
one
even
is
carrot can be taken as a example, right?
which one?
Carrot,
Carrot? No.
fibrous, or is it taproot?
Carrot has a taproot. Carrot
Taproot.
is a
Okay,
dicot.
I was right. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So example is V. Okay, all the monocots have fibrous roots. All the dicots, they have tap roots. Then come adventitious roots. See, when the roots arise from the part of the plant other than the radical, now they are purely adventitious, meaning they do not arise from radical at all. Okay, any other part of the plant. So the examples are grasses. Grasses are monocots only, but still they do not have fibrous roots. They have adventitious roots. Monstera, the most commonly used home plant. People have
Hmm.
this in their homes, right? Monstera. And then there is the banyan tree. So in their case, what happens is that their roots do not arise directly from the radical. Clear? So we call
Yeah.
them as the adventitious roots.
Hmm.
Now talking about what are the functions of the roots. So the most important function is absorption. Absorption of water, absorption of minerals. Apart from that, we know that the roots, they bind to the soil. So it
Yeah.
helps in the anchorage
Mm.
providing to the plant. It provides anchorage so that the plants, they have a firm ground. Apart from that, there are many roots that reserve the food material also. They store it. There are many food storing roots also. And also, they synthesize the plant growth regulators, that is the plant hormones. So plant hormones are also synthesized by some roots. So these are the various functions that the root has to perform. Remember that root has no photosynthetic activity. Rather, it stores. Okay?
Synthesis of plant growth regulators.
Yeah, plant growth regulators are also known as plant hormones, or you can also call them as phytohormones. The word phyto refers to plant.
Mom, isn't that the responsibility of shoot to like grow
See,
plant growth?
the hormones that the plant synthesizes or secretes, they come from variety of sources, not just the shoot. They come from
Oh,
the root also, they come from the tip of the shoot also, they come from the growing parts of the plant also. Okay, it is
mm,
not necessary that it will just be the stem. Stem is there 100%, but apart from that, roots also do the process. Clear?
okay. Ma'am, I have a doubt. Do roots, like after, suppose a tree has already been there and it's already giving out fruits and everything, does the root still grow or does it stop?
The roots, I think it'll stop growing because, like, see, that depends. For example, if the water level of the ground decreases, so maybe the root will elongate
Ah,
so as to
okay.
get more water. But as such, I think it will stop after a while that the plant has grown. But see, since the plant growth is undetermined, it keeps on growing and growing and growing. So I think for the conduction purpose, so will the roots. They'll also
Okay.
keep on growing so that they could provide much more water and everything to the plant.
Mm, okay.
Now talking about the regions of the root. See, if you
Ma'am,
look at
one minute. I have a question. Are cactuses fibrous roots? Or is it like,
cactuses,
yeah,
yeah, they have fibrous roots present in them. Have you ever seen one?
I have seen a cactus, but not its roots.
Yeah, me too. Even I haven't seen the root of a cactus. Wait, let me see.
But then they should have tap roots, right? To like go more deeper inside to get water. But then fibrous roots also so that they can search more water. So that's why I was confused.
They have fibrous roots,
Fibrous roots, okay.
but they do not have extremely deep roots. Why? Because the places that the cactus grow in, the place only does not have enough water, isn't it? The
Mm,
desert and all that. So they do not have very deep situated roots, but they have fibrous roots.
mm,
Now, see, the root has certain regions in them that have different properties, that have different functions. Now, to begin with, we know that if we talk about the growth of the root, it is against, towards the gravity, isn't it? It's below the ground. So, we know that while the plant root is growing, it has to penetrate deeper and deeper into the ground. So the
mm.
root may get damaged while doing so because soil is harsh, right? It is harsh and coarse only. So to protect, hmm,
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
the soil is harsh and coarse, right? It's harsh. Like if you take
Yeah, yeah.
the thing, you feel it, right? So the plant root has to be protected so that it
Mm,
does not face any damage while growing.
mm,
So for this protection, they have been provided with a cap-like structure. They have a cap, a thimble. Thimble means a covering. It is there and we call it as the root cap. It is literally like a cap. So the function is to protect the tip of the root while going deeper into the soil.
mm.
So now the roots are protected. Now there are three regions that are present in the root. There is
Ma'am,
the region.
ma'am, apex you call anything which is growing at the tip, right?
Apex means tip. No, nothing growing, stopping, nothing. Apex means tip.
Okay, so you can call even the shoot as the apex, right? Like at the tip of it.
Hmm. Apex,
Okay.
you say anything. You can say the apex of the pencil. That is also means the tip of the pencil.
Okay.
Apex in general, just like how lateral is a term to denote sideways
Okay.
position, apex is a term to denote tip position or the top position. Okay.
Okay.
There are many coaching institutes, they also have the name as apex. So apex means top. Okay. That's it. Now, talking about the regions of the root, you can also call it as zone, you can call it as region. So the first is the region or the zone of meristematic activity, the region or the zone of elongation, and lastly there is the region of maturation. Now talking about the region of meristematic activity, see it is present, and these regions, like I have written it like ABC. So remember, like for example, if I wrote the region, so if this is the root, okay, so you might think that the regions are starting from here because we have written it like that only. But always remember that whenever we talk about the zones of the root, we start from after the root cap.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we start above from the root cap. That is how we define the zones of the plant. So if you like while you are writing in your exams, if you want to write region of maturation at the top, that is also fine. Okay, both
Okay.
of these situations. You just have to, if you are writing it like this, then you have to mention that where the regions are present. Then it's clarified. For
Okay.
example, the first one is the region of meristematic activity. Do you know anything about meristem?
I had learned, I forgot.
Yeah, you might have learned it in class 10, isn't it?
Ninth, uh, meristematic tissues.
Yeah, 9.
They,
Hmm.
I don't know what they do, I
See,
forgot.
meristematic tissues are those tissues that have the property of constant division. They divide
Yeah,
a lot.
cell division. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because of the presence of meristematic tissue only, the plant has undefined growth. So,
Undefined group.
growth, meaning
Okay.
it keeps on growing and growing and growing. So when we talk about the region of meristematic activity, so it is present a few millimeters above the root cap. So we're starting from the like bottom part, right? The root cap ends and the region of meristematic starts. Now the
You
cells of
mean
this
the apex
particular
part,
region, hmm,
the apex part, right?
hmm,
Hmm.
the apex of the root. Now
Hmm.
the cells of this particular region, they are very small cells. They are thin wall because meristematic tissues, they have thin wall only. And they
Hmm.
have dense protoplasm, meaning their cytoplasm and everything is very dense, thick. And their property is to divide rapidly or repeatedly.
Hmm.
Meaning they keep on dividing and dividing and dividing so as to grow the length of the root. Now, above the region of meristematic activity, you have the region of elongation, the zone of elongation. Now, just
And
like
where,
the name, hmm,
and where uh,
above meristematic activity region.
above the apex.
Above the apex is meristematic activity region. Above the meristematic activity region is region of elongation.
You mean like in the root, like the center of the root?
Everything is happening in the root only because we are talking about the regions in the root. It has nothing to do with the stem.
No, 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 no. Like above the apex, right? So at the
Above the
top.
apex, no, see here. I am drawing a thicker version of the root. Okay.
Okay.
This is the root cap.
Yeah.
Above the root cap, this part is
Oh,
meristematic region. Above the meristematic region is elongation region, this part. And above that is the maturation. This is how it is divided. Okay. That is what I said. It starts from here. If you write it like that also, it starts from the bottom. So the region of elongation is present above the region of meristematic activity. The cells of this region undergo rapid enlargement and elongation, meaning again it will also help the roots to grow longer, broader, and they are responsible for the growth of root in length. The cells of the elongation region, they gradually differentiate and mature. So they undergo maturation after a while. but they are also helpful in the lengthening of the root. Lastly, there comes the region of maturation. So above the region of elongation, the region of maturation is present. Now, this region is characterized by the presence of root hairs. Some of the epidermal cells mean the superficial cells of this particular region, they form fine and delicate thread-like structures called as the root hairs. So the root, they have extra structures present on top of it called as the root hair, and that is responsible for more and more absorption of soil, like water, minerals and everything from the soil. It
Okay.
helps in the better absorption of water, root hairs.
Like cilia or what is it?
Yeah,
Um,
cilia only. Flagella is responsible for locomotion. But cilia has no property of absorption.
not cilia. There was something else that we something.
Hmm?
Um, we I don't remember. Okay, never mind. Some
V.
yeah, like it has it absorbs
Oh, will I?
villi. Yeah,
Okay. So the region of maturation. So the regions of the this thing. Root is clear?
yeah.
Any doubts?
No,
Let me see. I don't think so. Wait. Just let me
Malak,
add a picture. Hmm?
could you like just write in that part where you drew the tree, right? The three parts. Could you just write maturation, elongation, and mestematic?
Wait, that is what I'm saying. I'll put a diagram on. This is not
Oh,
nice. I'll put a proper diagram. Just wait. One
that's
second.
easy. Okay.
No, the diagram will not be difficult. Don't worry about that. It's the easier diagram.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can you see it?
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Okay. I took it from the internet only. So now you can see the regions of the root. Okay. So while you're taking down the notes, you can draw this also. Because if the questions about regions of the roots are asked in the exam, and if you draw this in support of your answer, full marks.
Hmm.
Okay. So now you can note it down. Then we'll move forward.
I'll just get the book and come.
Hmm?
I'll just get the book and come. Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, what was written under angiosperms when you had written that? The above part?
Where? Oh, flowering
Hmm.
plants.
Acha, okay. Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down?